Good after morning. Welcome into twitch.tv/Ice Cream Uploads. My name is Graham Day, and I'm joined by the man that we call Baby.
Good evening.
Good evening. Alright. Actually,
Hello.
you know what? Don't really want any good evening references because Dracula did us over yesterday, but enough of that.
Dracula, that's fantastic.
Have you never heard that one before? Does it not like blah blah blah? Hotel Transylvania.
Yes, it absolutely does. It's nailed on, which is why it's fantastic.
But if you're in the stream, welcome in. How are you all doing? If you don't know who we are, my name is Graham. This is Bib. We are Ice Cream Uploads in true ice cream fashion. This is The Scoop. This is the UK's #1 video game podcast, if we do say so ourselves. We are going to be live for the next hour or so, running through the biggest, the best, and the breaking stories from the world of video games. Everything that's happened over the weekend, we got you. But then we will give you our thoughts and impressions on those stories. So we want to hear your thoughts and impressions, and then your thoughts and impressions on our thoughts and impressions. That's kind of how the whole thing works. So if you are in the stream, please do feel free to get involved, because we are live on Twitch right now, twitch.tv/Ice Cream Uploads, where we go live each and every single weekday at 10 a.m.
Ish.
It's 18 minutes past 3, so not that close. Not that close today, but do you know what? It is what it is. It is what it is. What are we, if not consistently inconsistent? So there you go. Nice. But yeah, we are live on Twitch. Please do feel free to get involved if you're here with us over the next hour or so, because the live stream is turned into a podcast, a video on YouTube, and an audio podcast on iTunes and Spotify and SoundCloud and Google Play. There is lots of places where over 165,000 people have watched and listened to this podcast on demand. It's probably more than that by now. But you know what? We'll just go with that because, you know, it takes effort to put the numbers together. We can't even get you pre-12 noon, so we don't get the time to pull some numbers together. So over 165,000. We'll just leave it that. Nice. Before we jump into any news stories, though, before we get our thoughts and impressions and your thoughts and impressions and your thoughts and impressions on our thoughts and impressions, before we go into all of that sort of stuff, a couple of reminders. Today is the loot drop day. Nice. And because we are so late in the day, you've missed it. You've missed it. If you were a sub 19 minutes ago to the channel, you will have been included in our export. Anyone that is a sub at 3 p.m. on the first Monday of every month is included in the loot drop. This month's loot drop is a copy of FIFA 23. Standard edition. None of the super premium stuff. I mean, Bibby's got Lambos to pay for. Fuel's not cheap these days. So
Exactly.
So yeah, we will be giving away a copy of FIFA 23. We'll save that for the end of the broadcast, so we won't do that just now. We'll do that a little bit later on. So we know some people don't come strolling until a little bit later on. All you needed to do was be a sub to the channel, whether it was a tier 1, 2, 3, prime, or gifted sub. As long as you were a sub today, you'll be included. Nice. As well as that, we gave away a copy of Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 last week, eventually, despite someone trying their best to weasel that out of our hands. We got rid of that whopper, and it was given away successfully. Tell you what wasn't given away successfully, though, an Astro headset. One of these bad boys, an Astro A40 TR headset. The tournament ready, baby. Nobody wanted it. Nobody wanted it. No, it wasn't a case of that. It's a case of the downside of running social media competitions is there's some people on the internet that just enter social media competitions en masse, every competition under the sun. And unfortunately, we had a few people that entered en masse, but didn't actually look into how they actually claim it. So they just wanted to be tagged in tweets and stuff going, hey, your prize is over here. Whereas we wanted to announce the winner on stream. So they didn't know that they'd won. Yeah, exactly. So they didn't know that.
It's not a new method for us.
It's a way that we can ensure that we can open the competition up to everyone, but viewers actually get prizes. So yeah, loads of people retweeted it, and then the 2 people that were drawn, so there was someone on Tuesday last week drawn, was given the 48 hours to claim the prize. So it was drawn live on Twitch and posted in the Discord as a backup. Nothing. So Thursday come along, we draw again, and Ayub, it was Lucy first and then Ayub second. Both had numbers after their names. Can't remember what the numbers are because I'm not the Rain Man. But do you know what? Ayub, same thing. Saturday came and went. So we've done our due diligence. We've tried to give the prize away. We've re-rolled and tried to give it to someone else. And now we're just keeping it. So screw you all. It's ours. eBay. Nah,
Another A40.
Yeah. No, that's not what we're doing. We are giving that away on Wednesday. So we can guarantee that the prize will be given to someone, because we will ask everyone in the stream to come in and do ! Word Whatever the word is going to be, I'm not telling you now because it won't count and we've not decided. But whatever the word will be. Like for those who came into the Modern Warfare campaign early access stream that we did, we gave a copy of Modern Warfare in that. It'll be similar bag. We'll open up the queue for a minute. People can get involved. And then after a minute, it'll close. And then we'll open it again. And again, and again, throughout the course of the stream, and one person, exclamation mark word. Exactly, Lumps. I was waiting to see who was going to be the first one to type that one in. That's why I paused for a second, because I thought, do I say something different here, like exclamation mark penis, and then just fill the chat full of penis, but then I thought, no, I won't, because the chat...
Standard ICU stream, that.
Yeah, exactly. Exclamation mark Neil to win, to enter the comp. Yes, everyone type exclamation mark Neil to win, and then Beans gets himself another A40 headset. Let's go, baby! So yeah, we will do that on Wednesday night. The competition will be open. Anyone that's watching on Wednesday will be able to get in for a chance to bag themselves an A40 headset. It will be given away on Wednesday. And because everyone will have been in the stream, you've got to feel it's going to be given away to someone that actually wants to win it. You hope.
Absolutely, yeah.
You hope.
It might be one of the biggest streams of the year, but it could also be a 1 in 10 chance. Do you know what I mean, Graham? You won't know until you're there. Yeah,
exactly. Could be millions. Could be surefire win. Easy dubs. Let me jump back to the chat. Lake's dropping in, says, right when I arrived into the chat. I think that must have been when it went down. Yeah, it's because we saw you dropped into the chat late. We were like, no, kill the stream. No, I was, for those that were in the stream pre-stream, I went live and realized that I was connected to the Wi-Fi. So that would have been a painful watch because Bibby was like, his audio was okay, but his face was like gurning about normal. 6 days. Yeah, normal. It was normal. So yeah, no. So yes, it was on the Wi-Fi and ain't nobody got time for that. So I had to kill that over. So touch wood, we haven't had an exclamation mark sky issue yet. There is still time.
Hold on to your hats.
Yeah, exactly. Where are we going? Where do we get to? Oh, Neil. Anybody here? Nah, no. Yanan. Lotus was in before that. Lumps was in as well. And Lake. Lotus says, game of FIFA, babe.
Never again. You silly twat.
You don't want? Do you don't want game of FIFA, babe? Do you?
Okay, Steve.
Do you hate FIFA now?
Rip.
I didn't even know this. I saw Bib was playing FIFA after we'd got back from doing the shopping and stuff, but I didn't actually click into the stream. If only we could have seen the demolition. If you pause it just here, you can see the moment his heart rips in half. Full on Ralph Wiggum'd.
It was a disgrace. We went 1-1 as well, and I thought, here we go. I might have a bit. As soon as I seen his team on the screen, I was like, I have made a big mistake. What have I done here? And he just absolutely piped me. He gave me everything that he got, and I ended up conceding about 400 goals.
Pipe.
Yeah,
nice.
Well, that's genuinely like what it was. It was just pipe for days.
2 streams in one day. You'll be hard pushed to top the first. What, on Wednesday? I'm always hard pushed to top the first, mate. Easy, mate. Oh, by the way, speaking of streams in one day, let me jump into the split screen.
Ooh.
Lack of streams in one day. This Saturday, there will be no chasing crates with mates. So anyone that usually plays PUBG with me on a Saturday, there will be no stream this Saturday. Family stuff. That said, there may be a stream later on the Saturday, or depending on when Bibby streams on the Sunday, maybe I could get a stream in on the Sunday or something. But Saturday morning, I have family stuff, so I will not be around, mate. Not be around. So there will be no chasing crates with mates this Saturday, as there usually is. Because well, basically my family hates you all. No, that's not what it is. That's not what it is. That's what I mean. A little bit, but no. Yeah. Oi! Exclamation mark word. Neil to Twitter. Make it goth. Nice. What? Make it goth? Is that like make it so like Star Trek? But make it goth. And
make it goth.
Nice. Exclamation mark long grass. Exclamation mark Lake to win. Please. Or exclamation mark. Ah no.
Ah no.
Team of Dreams. I'm good for later on Saturday. Nice. I mean, I could be. The later on Saturday depends on. Basically, I'm being vague for reasons because it's not to do with me so much. But depending on how Monday morning transpires, Saturday morning transpires, depends on whether I'll be around for Saturday evening or Sunday.
Yeah.
But yeah. So yeah, there we go. Without further ado, we are here to talk about video game news. And did you know, babe? Hideo Kojima.
Okay.
If I just said the word overdose to you. No, not like that.
Oh, thank God for that. I thought one of the great minds has just been wiped off the face of the earth.
See, you love that role play. See, that baby sold it like an absolute boss because
hand on the chest.
Yeah,
No.
we had this conversation before we went live. Baby put together the thumbnail for the title of today's stream, which was usually is the lead story, and today's lead story was about Hideo Kojima's Overdose has been leaked. So Baby was saying I had to put it in with the quote marks, like the speech marks kind of thingy, because I wanted people to know that Hideo Kojima hasn't had an overdose. I know
he's still alive.
I know that we go into clickbaitiness, but I don't want to be that guy. So yes. This is the first story, Tom Ivan at VGC. The headline says, footage of Hideo Kojima's unannounced Overdose has seemingly leaked. We'll then talk about Diablo 4, reportedly launching next year. Do you want to watch some filthy knights fight filthier zombies in the trailer for co-op game Blight Survival? Well, we got you.
Yes, I fucking do.
Well, we got you. Knights and zombies, that's pretty much... That's Skyrim meets Resident Evil. That's a Bibby article, if ever I've seen one. We'll then talk about New World having fresh start servers, which offers new and old players the chance to play New World. And it worked, apparently. And... also, we'll finish up with the servers of Battlefield 1 absolutely popping as well. So if you want some Battlefield and 2042's not quite scratching your itch, well, there's an 88% off sale that is making everyone that has the game play the game. Except me, I've got the game. I've not been playing it, but here's what it is.
I did see that over the weekend.
What, I've got the game?
No, not that you... Well, I would never know, because I don't think I've ever seen you boot up anything else but PUBG.
That's not true, mate.
That's a lie.
Actually.
Modern Warfare campaign.
Yeah, man. I was saying, mate. I played about 8 hours of Heavy Rain the other week with the intent of finishing it and never did. I also downloaded what are the two that follow it? I want to say Until Dawn, but it's
Until
not.
Dawn. No, it's not Until Dawn. It is
the one with
Detroit.
Yeah, so the Detroit is the third one, and it's the middle one that's got like Willem Dafoe and Ellen Page in
Beyond
it.
Two Souls?
Beyond.
No, is that
That's it? Yeah, so Heavy Rain, Beyond Two Souls, and Detroit. I downloaded all three of them, expecting to smash through them in that week off that I had. Played 8 hours of Heavy Rain and then didn't touch any of the others. Let's go. Green Day, baby.
Well, I've got next week off. I mean Monday, but I've got the boy all week because Samantha goes back to work on the Tuesday. So I'm going to have a little bit of time to mess around with a few games, hopefully. Who knows?
PUBG, nice. Bibby confirmed, back on PUBG, M16 DBS Master. Let's go, baby. On that bombshell, don't overdose on it, babe. Which leads me nicely into Tom Ivan at VGC. Footage of Hideo Kojima's unannounced Overdose has seemingly leaked. The unannounced project was first reported on in June and appears to be a horror game. So footage of what appears to be a new horror game from Hideo Kojima has been published online. The footage, which is being widely circulated on social media and is viewable via the embedded video below, is seemingly the same gameplay that was first described in a Try Hard Guides report in June. I'm going to hit play on it, but mute it whilst it's there. It appears to feature Margaret Qualley, who starred in Kojima Productions' debut game Death Stranding. It shows a character using a flashlight to navigate dark corridors from a third-person perspective. The video closes with a jump scare before displaying Game Over, followed by a Hideo Kojima game, and finally, Overdose. Whoever is recording this game, you can see their face in the camera at times. So that's one way to get yourself absolutely blacklisted from all Kojima Productions games going forward. Great efforts. So following the publication of the report describing the footage earlier this year, it was claimed that Kojima Productions requested its removal, seemingly lending weight to the claims made in the story. Kojima has teased his next project ever since the release of Death Stranding in November 2019. That month, I know, 3 years since Death Stranding released. I know, absolute madness. But that month, he suggested he was watching horror movies in preparation for a future project. And in April 2020, he said he'd like to make a revolutionary horror game one day. This June, Kojima confirmed that he is working on a cloud-based project with Xbox. Quote, "There is a game I have always wanted to make," he said. "It's a completely new game. One that no one has ever experienced or seen before. I've waited very long for the day when I could finally start to create it. With Microsoft's cutting-edge technology and the change in the industry's trend, it has now become possible to challenge myself to make this never-before-seen concept." I'm going to pause that. I'll come back to that in a second. There's still a minute left of that trailer bit there. So in recent weeks, Kojima's confirmed that Elle Fanning... Do you know what, actually? We don't need to talk about his other stuff that is confirmed in his new unannounced game and stuff. Play back on that. Okay, Bib, have you watched this teaser for Overdose?
I have, yes.
Thoughts?
There's a shirtless guy in there. Have you seen it? Look a little bit closer. There's a guy that's got no t-shirt on that's recording it.
Hey, do you know what? The best thing for me to do right here would be to watch an unannounced game and record it off screen with my mobile so I can show it to my friends with my nips out. Let's go, baby!
That did tickle me when I watched it, but yeah, I mean, this has been posted on YouTube. Don't forget, like this clip. That's a YouTube bar that's playing at the bottom. That's not like a universal one. So this clip is out there for, I imagine, people to be able to see themselves. But yeah, ever since he announced that he wanted to do a
nipple, game, man nips, game over, odor. Let's talk about nips, baby. Nice.
So yeah, this is I've been waiting for something of this to come out. I mean, I don't want to watch it via somebody else's phone. That screen recording. Well, it's not even screen recording. They're recording a video of the video on their mobile phone, so it's just hazy as hell. You can see someone's burger nips in there. Like, I don't want to be seeing all that stuff. So I'm looking forward to actually seeing this come out. I'll see more of it, shall I say?
What, the nips?
Not through
I'm going to say we've seen enough.
The nips. We have seen enough. But no, I want to. I'm trying to find it. I'm finding it difficult to be able to put into words because of the shoddy screen that I'm looking at. Like, it's terrible. How can you get excited? How can anyone get excited about looking at that? It just doesn't look great. However, since 2019, when he said that he's been watching the most horrific horror films that he could get his hands on to try and give him some sort of inspiration, they're the phrases that I want to hear coming from a Hideo Kojima when it comes to putting his marvelous mind to work. I reckon it's going to be terrifying, but from what we're seeing here, how can anyone be terrified about that kind of thing?
Yeah, it's a shame seeing things like that. Like when you see Hideo Kojima's team, whilst being an independent studio, have funds, have backing, have resources, have contacts, have pretty much everything that you need to make a AAA game. So they may be independent, but they are independent in a AAA space. So seeing any form of AAA title, do you know what? Seeing any title, whether it's AAA or independent, seeing a game of any size being pushed out earlier than it should be is always disappointing. I mean, that does look cool. It does look like Kojima's bringing us something that will get inside your mind. And we know Kojima can get inside your mind anyway. We've seen that through, if you've seen any of the director's walkthrough stuff from any of the games that he's made previously, be it Death Strandings or the Metal Gears or whatever, you might think, oh, that's a cool shot. That's why he shows it, because it just looks a bit cool. But then you actually hear his reasoning for that shot. Like, there's one that I always come back to. I've mentioned it a few times. In the opening scene of Metal Gear Solid 5 Ground Zeroes, so the first part of Metal Gear Solid 5, there is a scene where you're entering this military base, but the camera's at waist height. And it's a cool shot, but the reason the camera's at waist height is because there's dogs in that scene. And Hideo Kojima wanted to keep the theme of dogs going throughout. The Diamond Dogs, Dogs of War, that whole sort of vibe. Plus, it was kind of a jarring shot, seeing it from a different angle as well. But seeing like someone thinking to that level of just basically your intro credit scene, you'd think, okay, this person understands the brain. This person understands how to pull me apart. And if you're going to do that and make me shit my pants, then that's the most successful way that you're going to be able to do that. So it's a bit of a shame seeing that footage for the first time, followed by a nip right at the end. Absolute nips for days. It's a bit disappointing. I mean, I am disappointed now because that means that every time we go to an advanced preview of a game, be it the next day, Mayor, at Gamescom, we go behind the scenes, we sit down with the devs and we play it, we turn around, the devs are not going to have their nipples out. I'm going to be hugely disappointed now because, being built up. Or maybe I won't, because, do you know what? I probably won't be. It is disappointing to see any game, especially something so big being leaked like that. The interesting thing, though, is obviously it's a video off screen on YouTube that wasn't English, so that either the viewer wasn't English and their YouTube was, I'm going to guess Spanish. I could be completely wrong. I'll just say Spanish for the ease. So either they were watching YouTube in Spain, which is why the text around it was. Well, I'm confused now. G, have you been drinking? There's vodka in that bottle! Exclamation mark pants. Why do I sound drunk? I don't know. Yeah, so either it's someone from a non-English speaking country that's uploaded it, or it's just someone from a non-English speaking country that's just viewing it. So it still opens it up to be, okay, well, that could be anyone. It is narrowed down significantly by the fact that you can see burger nips in the video at the end, and there's two, three faces scattered around throughout the video, which will make it easier to pinpoint. And if that is just someone watching it on the internet, they'll probably get their content strikes and have it taken down and all the rest, and they'll be in bad books with Kojima and so on. But then that still asks the question, is where did that come from? How did someone get hold of this? Hideo Kojima's team are not lightweights. Hideo Kojima's team regularly do things like PT. Having a game like PT hitting the PlayStation Store without anyone knowing about it beforehand, that hardly ever happens. And if it does, it's hardly ever successful without it getting out first. But Hideo Kojima's team can do that sort of stuff. So seeing something like this leak, that will be a big investigation internally as to where that sort of stuff's come from. Because the information was not only leaked in a written form a few months ago, it's now being leaked in a video form. 2 bytes at the same cherry. That's definitely someone internal that's just doing stuff he's not supposed to be doing. Someone that's probably doing it unmaliciously, air quotes. Someone that's thinking, I'm really proud of what I'm doing. I know my brother would love to see this. Let's send it to my brother. But then that brother sends it on to their brother, who sends it on to their mate, and it's on the internet and it's gone forever. Oh no, fuck, I didn't even realise. If you're working video games, don't share shit you're not supposed to, even if it's cool. People will see it eventually. The reason you're seeing it is because it's cool and you've got a job. Keep it that way. Fuck's sake.
It's very, I think that it's very easy for those kind of things to abide by. You want to stay in a job and you want this stuff to keep on happening. That's how you do it. It's sometimes, Reddit ends up picking up on stuff way beforehand, which is, I think most journalists will end up looking at like Reddit threads and stuff like that anyway, because they seem to get information, because obviously it's like a town hall type place where it just has a different type of person, or that maybe into like different things in terms of video games, but they seem to get information from a place that you never even thought was possible. And do you know what? A lot of the times it's actually right. That's where the rumor mill starts, and then journalists will pick up on that because it might have been shared from Reddit onto Twitter. Then they'll end up picking it up, or whatever forum it is that they're looking at, and then it then gets put into an article which we end up getting covered. It's weird how those things happen, but there's always a start. There's always a chain of events that happens when stuff like this ends up happening. It should never happen. It shouldn't even get to that point. But here we are with most games nowadays getting spoiled and leaked way before the announcement is actually due. It does ruin it. And there just seems to be no secrecy in video games anymore. Like, there's no breathtaking moment apart from if something has gone. I don't know. Like, even at E3 and Gamescom and stuff like that now, it's very, very, very rare that something is getting put up onto the screens and then being streamed around the world that no one has had a sniff at seeing. It never happens anymore. What was the last game that happened where people absolutely lost their shit because it's the first time that they'd seen? either a new IP or a sequel coming out. I'm trying to rack my brain. I've obviously put myself and you on the spot, or anybody else in the chat that's hearing
I mean,
this. But what was the last game?
I can think of one pretty recent, but it definitely made waves, but not necessarily in our communities. And that was the Tekken game that we saw the other week in the PlayStation showcase, where there was the two dudes fighting, and then there was like the whole atmospheric stuff. Nobody knew that was coming, but and I don't mean to shit on FGC. That for me would be like a fighting game or a racing game. They have super dedicated niches, but aren't necessarily the mainstream these days. So that was kind of like it, but yeah, you don't really get that anymore.
It's
like
a shame, innit? It's like, we used to get previews in magazines and stuff like that. That was cool because that would have been the first time that as soon as that went to print, you're able to see it. Obviously, then we evolved into the internet and things like that. But as much as I love new games coming out and the excitement of like seeing Marvel Midnight Suns and stuff like that, all of that stuff, it always comes after the fact. It's like you're always going to see, you're hearing murmurs like there's a new game coming out and this is what it's going to be, and it's going to be like an XCOM versus Marvel game. Like it's going to be mental, cards galore. You're able to move around the chess pieces that are on the floor, the chess places. Like that would be amazing if I'd just seen the trailer. Yeah. I'd be like, oh my fucking god, this looks amazing. But we knew that was coming.
Apex.
It's very rare now that we Apex. I mean, yeah, that kind of exploded onto the scene, but yeah, I suppose
because we had Dr. Disrespect, Shroud, and others in the same room recording content weeks in advance as Apex partners, and then it launched and went boom, and nobody knew it was coming. Is it Respawn managed to keep it quiet up until launch, and that's EA, Respawn, Dr. Disrespect, Shroud, Ninja, Tim the Tatman, those level of creators, massive names, all invited to this event, and they managed to keep that quiet. You don't get that very often. I mean, like the Silent Hill showcase is probably one to mention here. Close to Hideo Kojima, there was so much stuff within that almost made it. Obviously, it was. We covered news articles the day after that some of it was revealed earlier in advance. It almost made it to that point where we got multiple titles in the Silent Hill showcase released that nobody knew about. The only thing with that is there was lots and lots of leaks about Silent Hill leading up to that, which weren't actual legit leaks. They were that, what's his face? What was he called? Hashtag the Insider or something, like at the Insider or something. That guy that made, like, so who admitted to, I've made shitloads of Silent Hill releases just because, you know, I've heard half rumors and this sounds like it'd be cool stuff and people would probably retweet this. So I made that bullshit up. But loads of that was untrue. So a lot of people would probably think, actually, we knew Silent Hill was coming. We knew shitloads about it. We actually knew very little about what was coming. To the point where, obviously, for those that don't know, we do work with Konami and we do cover a lot of content. There's a lot that we don't know. So we didn't know a lot of that sort of shit until it was kind of there. So, yeah, that would have been close, but it's a shame to see something like Kojima's stuff. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I was going to say something like Kojima's stuff because I was going to go back to the fact that Konami's a bigger company, multiple offices around the world, but so is Kojima Productions in that sort of sense. Yes, they aren't a big company. They're a smaller company. They're an indie dev owned by Hideo Kojima, not a board of different people that have different financial what's the word I'm looking for? Dependence. Let's put it that way. Hideo Kojima can do and say what he wants with it. But that said, he used Guerrilla's engine for Death Stranding, which was made hand in hand with PlayStation, and is doing stuff with Xbox and so on as well. So you kind of feel then, well, he always has multiple partners. So maybe it's, and please don't sue us, Guerrilla or PlayStation or Xbox, but maybe it was someone from Guerrilla or PlayStation or Xbox's team that has had this cool stuff sent over. And look at the new thing from Hideo Kojima. So maybe it wasn't a Kojima production thing after all, but it was a Kojima Productions partner thing after all. Interesting. Tito says, it's okay. When Twitter inevitably dies, there'll be no platform for leaks, Kappa. Facts.
Fair. I mean, a lot of people are saying that they're going to end up leaving Twitter, but they won't, because what's the alternative? Going back to Facebook, reopening Bebo, making a new website on Pixel. Do you know what I mean? Like, what is the alternative? Because it isn't Instagram.
There isn't
and
one.
It's definitely not TikTok.
Yeah, there is no alternative. The issue with Instagram is it's video content and picture content pretty much exclusively. You can't just post a text update. The same thing with Instagram Reels, same thing with TikTok and Hover and all the other alikes out there kind of thing that everyone's had a dabble with. They don't work because Twitter allows you to be short form media. The thing with a tweet, the beauty of Twitter is it's more than just a social network where you can post a picture of your lunch, because, and we've seen real life cases where countries are sent into military control. There's been a coup from the military, the country's shut down, all TV and radio and stuff goes offline, but people can still connect to the outside world by using like old T9 dictionary sort of like typing on your Nokia 3310 stuff off of a landline phone. You can tweet from a house phone by just pressing the buttons on your keypad, and people were communicating with the outside world in that sort of sense. Not that that's what everyone's going to use Twitter for, but Twitter has all of these cool ways that people can bed into it. No one's going to go, fuck, there's something happening in this country. I need to get a message out to the people on Instagram that are rating pictures of Dachshunds and also posting pictures of their favourite chicken nuggets. No, that's just my Instagram, by the way. Yeah, there is no other platform out there that does the same stuff that Twitter does. So if someone else comes along and goes, okay, I want to do what Twitter does, but doesn't just fall into what every other platform has done and gone, hey, what about stories? How about we like, there was that meme a few years ago when Twitter did, what did they call their stories that were there for like 5 minutes? And people started mocking up like Excel spreadsheets with stories at the top and Microsoft Word with stories at the top and stuff like that. And it's like, look, every program's got stories now.
I can't remember what it was called.
Because it was crap. So yeah, if Twitter dies, there's nothing there to fill the space, which is disappointing because, I mean, some competition might make it a bit better in that sort of sense. Anyway, we'll move ahead. So that is footage of Hideo Kojima's Overdose, a new scary game, or at least it looks, has been leaked. The article put together by Tom Ivan at VGC, which is where we're going to stay for the next news article, although not by Tom Ivan. This is by Jordan Midler. Discussing now the screen. Article on the screen. Let's go. Diablo 4 is reportedly launching in April 2023. It's claimed the game could appear at the Game Awards. Ooh. So Diablo 4 will reportedly release in April 2023, and pre-orders for the game will open in December, according to a new report. Excuse me, I just had a burp and didn't want to do it down your ear hole, so there you go.
I was just about to say, has the internet gone down?
Windows Central claims that the game is slated for release in April 2023, and that pre-orders for the game, which will grant player access to a beta possibly in February, will go live in December during the Game Awards. We reported earlier this year that an alleged internal Activision document, which correctly revealed the release dates of Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 and Warzone 2.0, listed the Game Awards as the beginning of Activision Blizzard's promotional push for the game. The Game Awards 2022 takes place on December the 8th, which is 5 days after Graham's birthday, which is the 3rd of December. December the 3rd. Only. However, this hasn't stopped large portions of the beta from being streamed online, which we did cover a little bit, I think. Was that what we covered a few months back?
Yes, we did, yeah.
But we can leave it there. Diablo 4, reportedly launching in April. Pre-orders reportedly opening up in December when the Game Awards takes place, just after my birthday. Bib, thoughts? Oh, chatbot's not working.
Yeah. Oh, no.
No.
No. What do I think of this? I can't wait to see more of this. I mean, it feels like, when did Diablo 3 come out? Because I remember playing this on like one of my first actual gaming PCs. Diablo 3, the release date. 2012, so that's the first time. That's the first time. I think this is one of the first games that I played with on a PC that actually had a graphics card in it and wasn't like an integrated laptop graphics card. This feels like a lifetime ago. Like, genuinely, it feels like a lifetime ago. This is moving into the Skyrim realms, and I bet you didn't think I'll be able to slip this one into the conversation.
I always think you can slip Skyrim into the conversation. If anyone else is watching this, they might not be able to hear it because Lake's just fucked the shit out of you. So there was fuck this shit I'm out, no chance, fuck all underneath that. So nice. Nice.
So yeah, it's just like the prequel. Well, prequel? The one that the current one that we're on now has been out for that long. You're just thinking, when is the light at the end of the tunnel? When are we going to be getting a new experience? And it's literally right around the corner. April is not far away at all. So I'm looking forward to seeing all the previews on this, seeing what people actually think about it, because the leaks that we'd seen and covered maybe 6 or 7 weeks ago.
Yeah.
I can't actually remember. But the leaks that we'd seen back then, obviously it's going to look like a completely. It was when that guy accidentally started streaming it into somebody else's Discord that no one had even heard of, wasn't it? Yeah, that was it. So yeah, it's about 6 weeks ago. So I'm interested to actually see what we're going to be getting from this when it eventually comes out. Have you ever played a Diablo game?
I haven't. I don't think so. It was 19th of September. So yeah, you're pretty much right. It's 5, 6, 7 weeks ago ish, something like that. So
yeah,
on the money. See that? Bib knows his news.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm actually super looking forward to this. It's definitely one of the games that I will be jumping into. They are classic, like dungeon crawler. Get your mates, 3 of yous, just wandering around, just having an absolute blast playing it. They're so good. Like, they are genuinely so good games.
Neil says May 2012 for Diablo 3. 10 years and still being smashed by people. I'm assuming that means... Oh, no, actually, I was going to say, I'm assuming that means Neil's a fan, but if I scroll back up further, I can see buzzing with like 4 Zs. So I think he is a fan. Nice. Just give us new Warcraft. I don't care about Diablo, says Lake. No. Diablo is so much fun, says Neil. I mean, it doesn't surprise me either that it's at the Game Awards, because if you're releasing a game in April and you want a headline game, the Game Awards is the perfect show. 4 months before, everyone's talking Christmas. You open your pre-orders just at that Christmas point. Yeah, it's not a Christmas gift, but you can give the gift of gaming next year by having it front and center on the largest gaming conference in that period just before Christmas, and you can get people to spend their sentiment bucks on it there and then. So it makes perfect sense. Plus the fact that you kind of got a feel that their marketing plans that they said that were leaked, that included the Modern Warfare and Warzone release dates and so on within it. That's all got to have, even if it's not fully governed by Microsoft just yet, Microsoft will have a hand on that. And Microsoft have clearly already seen the importance of the Game Awards. We've mentioned this pretty much every year since. But the Xbox Series X was revealed at the Game Awards. So the first time anyone in the outside world ever saw the Xbox Series X, it was in a Game Awards show. So Microsoft clearly are on board with advertising there. And yeah, perfect place to do it. So it seems on the money for me. It's only a leak. Take it with a pinch. Works. Seems good. Sorry, I just lost my pen. I had to go and find it. Nice. Tix, welcome in afternoon. Okay, that's Diablo 4 reportedly launching in April 2023. We'll keep the pace moving. Nice. Look at that. Look at us being speedy through articles. Oh, 40 minutes in, we've had an introduction spiel with 3 articles down. Let's go, baby. Next up, though, Jonathan Bolden at PC Gamer has this article. It says, watch filthy knights fight filthier zombies in the trail of a co-op game, Blight Survival. If you love historical arms and armor, then get in here ASAP. Let me hit play on the video. It's 5 minutes long, so I'll skip forward a few seconds. Okay, I've already missed death. Fuck! Smashing its face in with a shield. Sheesh! Anyway, Blight Survival looks delightful. If you like zombies, knights, and historically inspired /accurate armor and weapons. Recently revealed in a gameplay trailer, Blight is a 4-player co-op action horror roguelite where you venture into a no man's land between warring states where a terrible thing has arisen, which turns people and corpses into monsters. Blight Survival isn't out yet, and there's no release date. The trailer is a pretty pleasing watch as it follows an armoured soldier through ruined towns and the muddy landscapes of swamp and... Do you know what? I'm going to stop for a second. Just going to stop for a second. The idea of medieval mixed with like proper zombie story, has that ever been done before? We've had medieval monsters and we've had zombie games, but have we ever had like a zombie apocalypse in medieval times before?
I don't think so, no. Which is what caught my attention of this. This looks incredible.
It looks fucking amazing. Yeah. I mean, that's the thing that stopped, like, seeing the dude, like... So for anyone listening to this on demand, it's called Blight Survival. Do check out the trailer. It's 5 minutes long. Starts out with
trailer being the description.
Starts out with a medieval knight smashing the butt of his shield into the face of a zombie, and then there's a few more zombie fights going on. But just the animations, the linking, the quality of the textures and stuff. If you glance at it, #baby game. But then you watch it for 20 seconds and you think, oh, actually, this actually looks pretty cool. Like even the way that the Bark Real Woods title just came up on the screen then looks like an #baby game sort of vibe. And there's a stag off in the distance, and there's like trees, and there's a river or a babbling brook. #baby game. But then the fucking zombie comes out, and it's got really cool animations. The thing that does me with these like fantasy sort of games is more effort, and rightly so, is put into the story and into the world and so on. And you don't necessarily get the full flowing, super smooth animations. It's usually like a and it's just the same sort of swipe, but with 2 or 3 different sounds that it randomly picks on. Whereas that looked class, which is why I stopped reading it straight away, because it got my attention.
Yeah, I feel like it's got like a little bit of a stealthy vibe to it as well, because there's one bit I can't see what you're showing up on the screen, but
it's this
there's
bit.
One
I think.
bit where so he's in like a little creek, and there's enemy soldiers on to his right and his left, and he's waiting for them to kind of turn around, and he has to like army crawl out of the back of it to make sure that he doesn't get noticed, to then end up being presented with an enemy in front of him that he ends up getting that it takes them out in a stealth pack. Like
that's what he's doing now. He's literally just sticking his knife in the dude's neck, like full on Assassin's Creed-esque sort of.
Genuinely, I've watched this trailer like 3 times, because this is a game that I never even thought would be part of the world. Like this was never 2 things that I would ever put together as being making a fantastic game, but now it's here. I can't wait to play it. I need to get the controller in my hands just to feel the weight of the character and feel like what it's like to be able to pick up the ball when the haptic feedback's going to feel like when I'm pulling the drawing the ball back in and letting it go. Like,
I wonder what it'll feel like when you go through the water and onto the sand on the beach. I wonder if you'll feel the slowdown.
Is Samantha going to throw a bucket of water in my face like as I get out the end of it? Like, is Graham going to be squirting me with the water gun? Like,
that's what it is.
These are all things that I need to know.
It's a water pistol, honest.
Okay,
I'm going to stop you for a second. Then I'll jump back into the text below. The trailer is pretty pleasing to watch as it follows an armored soldier through ruined towns and the muddy landscapes of swamp and forest between. Blight is set in an alternate 14th century, and the look here is believably spot on. Absolutely is. The game will be a looter, explorer, and cooperative roguelike for up to 4 players. Nice. Get 4 players mooching around, taking out zombies, stealthing. With some things you find on one run carrying over to the next. So elements of Tarkov. It's developed by and published by indie outfit Hania Studio, which is made up of 2 people, Ulrich and Mads. I find this to be incredible, but that's the age we live in, as tools and experience in development rapidly scale what a smaller team can accomplish. As Convinced, I don't even know what that word means, by the longbow, dagger, and sword in the trailer, Blight intends to have a selection of both weapons and armor that can be customized to suit one's playstyle. The description also says that Blight will take place on a huge map filled with secrets and plenty of coin to be found. I was going to stop there, but there's only 1 paragraph left, and it seems like Jonathan Bolden at PC Gamer is making a little bit of a conclusion, so I'll go through that one. I like that it has an element of realism to its combat, with a heavily armored combatant being very dangerous to unarmored ones. I especially like that he gets one thing about that era of plated armor correct, and that's the entire body of an armored man is a weapon, and our protagonist proves this with heavy tackles and armored strikes. And that's the bit that I was kind of feeling like even when I go right back to the beginning, I'll start this trailer again here, smashing the face in with a shield. It looks like has anyone seen The Batman, Robert Pattinson? The first trailers for that, you just see Robert Pattinson's Batman fuck someone up. I mean, whether you like
very un-Batman-like.
Yeah, whether you like the film or not, it was like, sheesh, Batman on a bad day. And you don't tend to see that in these games, or at least from my experience. You could probably throw a million examples of what you do, but I tend to see the same thing again. A dude just wafts his sword or his wand or whatever, not like that, settle down. And that's the strike done. Whereas this has so much variety. They're smashing that, leaving the shield just stuck up in the face of the zombie, walking off with the sword in the hand, and then the brawling that goes through these next few seconds. It's just so varied. It actually looks really, really, really. And I say actually because I mean, I imagine people liking this, but I like the look of this, so it actually looks good.
Yeah, well, I think the type of game that they're going for is one where you just literally you sat there watching it and you're going, whoa. Like, they want that kind of reaction because, like you say, it's very rare in types of games like this. There's obviously games that come about where you're looking at your Resident Evils, you're looking at your Last of Us, where games like that, they do not necessarily tip the scale in terms of it being an absolute gore fest. You've obviously got games like Doom, which just go the full force. Like, they're not asked, the gorier the better. You're getting your chainsaw, you're taking out the demons, whatever. But with this, you can like over the shoulder, third person, like you say, with the shield, just leaving it hanging out of the zombie's mouth and stuff. Like, they want that shock. They want you to go, shit. Like, this, honestly, this might actually be one of the most anticipated games on the. I think this might be the top of the list. Like, since watching this trailer over the weekend, again, I've watched it like 3 times. It just looks incredible.
I wouldn't say it's top of my list, but even the fact that I'd consider it to be on the list is quite a remarkable step for me in terms of these like fantasy games. I mean, that's the thing. I'm at the point where I just, it's a fantasy game. I mean, it's not. I mean, there's all sorts of a 4-player co-op action horror roguelite. I mean, I'd have said fantasy, which is obviously very different from many other fantasy games. But for me, it's like, okay, great. It's not really for me. But the fact that that's just a fantasy game that's got my attention, even the way that he stood up and there was a zombie coming towards it, and it wasn't the, oh, look, do I parry with my shield or do I waft my stick? No, it was the fact that he ducked out of the way, slashed it, stuck his sword in its face and then ripped it off. He's like, whoa, okay, nice. We'll take a bit of this. Thank you very much. So for those that are late in, that is Blight Survival. If you want to watch filthy knights fight filthier zombies, the trailer's there. Go check it out. We will keep our eyes on that one. I'm impressed. Next up, though, we'll go from one fantasy game to another. Yay! One that did get our attention a little bit last year, but then it kind of dropped off because there was server issues and all the rest. And then you know what, the video game world just moves fast, so we didn't stick with it. But New World's fresh start servers offer old and new players a chance to completely restart their experience. This is written by Vikki at Eurogamer. And update. As a result, player count soars to the best this year. Keep that in mind. Player count soaring to the best this year. So we'll jump down. The original story. Amazon's New World Fresh Start servers are now live, and to celebrate, you can now buy the MMO for 50% off the usual retail price on Steam. While the fresh part of the moniker suggests that this is a deal that should primarily interest lapsed players, Amazon says the new servers will offer old and new players a chance to completely restart their New World experience, as pre-existing high-level characters cannot be transferred in. It's a great opportunity for new and lapsed players to experience all that has changed over the game's first year, the team said. Jump in now, and Amazon says you'll get, quote, to enjoy a completely revamped early game experience. New weapons like the Void Gauntlet and the Blunderbuss, less travelling now that early quests have been grouped together, and an easier levelling experience too, meaning less grinding and a huge improvement to the overall pacing. Following the release of Brimstone Sands, which went live on the 18th of October, and Fresh Start Worlds, now is the best time to start your adventure in Eternum, Amazon says. And then we jump up. Update. Amazon MMO New World has seen its player count reinvigorated thanks to the game's recent Fresh Start update, a Steam sale, and a Twitch promotion. Player numbers have been given a significant boost, up from a peak of around 48,000 people logging in each day to more than 130,000 and still rising. The leap in player activity comes alongside a Twitch drop promotion and a half-price sale on Steam. Player numbers began spiking on the 2nd of November, sometime after the game's recent Brimstone Sounds update went live on the 18th of October. All in all, it's great news for the Amazon MMO, which launched brightly last autumn, but saw its popularity wane by the start of the year. Bib, thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, it's weird having a game this popular, having a new start already, like a system wipe. It feels weird them doing this, but I haven't logged into it. Obviously, I haven't played it, so I can't check this for certain, but I would hope that they still have a place for the people who've poured all their time into it to continue the story, continue their playthrough, rather than it just being a complete system wipe, because that wouldn't entice me to go back at all.
I mean, that
like ever.
I get that opinion just from the wording of the title. So the fact that they called them Fresh Start servers that would tell me that there are other servers that are non-fresh start servers. They are also you've got your level a bajillion character. Continue with your a bajillion character this way. If you want to start fresh and do it all again with better pacing, then go to the fresh start stuff. So yeah,
absolutely.
I mean, I don't know that. I'm guessing that's me just jumping to conclusions off of wording. Maybe they have ballsed it again. I don't know. Who knows?
Well, it's currently £17.50 if anyone was interested, or if you want the deluxe edition, it's £22. So yeah, there's probably never better time to jump into it. If you do have a spare 300 hours that you want to be able to pour into a game, then yeah, this might be the one for you.
Nice. Speaking of never a better time to jump into it, we're going to keep up the pace and move on to our next article. Back to Jonathan Boulding at PC Gamer. We've just been talking about Jonathan Boulding's article, talking about Blight survival, but not anymore. We're going to go something that you might have heard of previously. Huge Sale sends a 6-year-old Battlefield 1's player count into the stratosphere. So the 88% off sale has given a surprise shot in the arm to the World War One shooter even. So 6-year-old Battlefield 1 is having a mini renaissance on Steam right now, breaking into the top-selling games list and peaking at nearly 51,000 players today, following 3 prior days of big player counts. That 51k is nearly 10 times bigger than the 24-hour peak of the much more recently released Battlefield 2042. I love and hate how that always makes it in, because you can't help but stick the knife in when it's down to a game like that, which I get it. I also love how it shows how cool that is. But let me just also reaffirm that Battlefield 1 is still just a World War 1 shooter. So, oh, great, it's 10 times bigger. Still 10 times not what I want, but still, okay, I get what you're saying. Anyway, so the date comes courtesy of inimitable stats tracking site SteamDB. If you're wondering why gamers are flocking back to the Great War, look no further than Battlefield 1's current 88% off sale, reducing it to a measly £4.19. It's not players in the United States or Europe that are driving that spike either. These big player numbers are concentrated between 12 and 2 UTC. So that's 12 noon and 2 in the afternoon UTC. Peak gaming hours of between 8 p.m. and 10 p.m. in East Asian time zones like China Standard Time. The big boom of an arguably out-of-date entry to the series is a bit of an awkward look after all the hoopla surrounding Battlefield 2042's changes to the series formula. But in all likelihood, this is a passing fad born on the back of a great deal. If 2042 was all of a sudden selling for peanuts too, you best believe there'd be an influx of players sampling a game we actually quite enjoyed. Let's stop there. So, babe, taking those points, is Battlefield 1 skyrocketing up the charts because it's an exceptional game or because people love a bargain? What are your thoughts?
Both. I do. I wouldn't say it's a massively exceptional game. I do think it's a very good game still. But for less than a fiver, I mean, there's loads of games that I have bought on Steam that I have genuinely no intention to play, but they are at a stupid price. They'll be down. It's meant to be a 35 quid game, and it's gone down to like £4. I think, do you know what? I'll stick it. I'll stick it in my Steam library.
I might get £7 for a McDonald's McCrispy meal, and this is £4.19. It's half the price of a McCrispy meal. What the fuck?
Yeah. But it's definitely worth that. Do you know what I mean? I mean, it's still worth. I'd consider this game, considering the new ones out, and a lot of people don't like it. I am one of the people who actually do like playing 2042. For less than £5, it's still an exceptional game to get involved with. It's a classic Battlefield game. So yeah, I mean, it doesn't surprise me, because it might have been the case that people never played it before, or they might have a little bit more time now than they do back then, but they wasn't willing to pay the full price for it. Absolutely, fill your boots. Like, get involved with it. It's still a brilliant game for you to get involved with.
Fuck. I was trying to put the percent symbol in, but do you know? I don't know if percent is per space cent or just percent. So it's now just percent. There you go. Battlefield 1 is 88% off. There you go. You tried the new McCrispy. I actually really liked it. I had it last week before, end of the week before. It was decent. It's decent. I actually enjoyed it. I also entered a competition today. Go over to McDonald's Facebook page, and you could win a gaming chair. I mean, not that I need one, because shout out to GT Omega for hooking these bad boys up. But I was impressed at the McDonald's one because it has like something on one arm that has a slot that can hold a fries tub, and the other one is like a burger warmer or something like that. I was like, fuck, I don't even want a McDonald's chair, but I want a burger warmer. How do I take that off and put that on my GT Omega? So McDonald's Facebook page, get involved. Let's go, baby. Was quite shocked by how spicy it was. Do you think it was spicy?
Interesting. A lot of people said that about the McNuggets, though. The spicy McNuggets, and I was like, these are tame.
They were McShit. They weren't even spicy. It was just like it was like some crap chili powder that had put in, and it was like, oh, I can tell that you're going for. I can see that there is some form of heat there, but it's a really shit flavor and not even that spicy either. It's just disappointment. That was like 2 or 3 years ago. So they came out again like 6 months ago, 3 months ago, 2 months ago. So I don't know, a number of months ago. And I thought, fuck it, I'm sick of them on an order, and they weren't as bad as they used to be, but they're still shit. So would not recommend. So David talking about New World sale says, so it's a whole new world. It's a whole new world. Tix hasn't tried the McCrispy. All you need is delivery now. I mean, I can get it delivered, although McDonald's is like super close to me. I enjoyed it, says Neil. I mean, it was decent. I can't remember it being spicy. Maybe it was a bit, but I didn't remember it being spicy. I think I got it on a Wednesday pre-stream, so I probably was more focused on setting stuff up and wolfing it down, probably. So
he's got the McShits.
Yeah, I mean, I've always got the McShits these days. I'm getting old now. But anyway, that's enough of that. Battlefield 1 is 88% off, and it has a massive player count right now. I do believe that it is because of the 88% increase. I believe that Battlefield's fans are always going to be there to support it, particularly when it does something good, and that is either good gameplay or good pricing. And they always come back for both. And I say Battlefield 1, that translates into Battlefront 2. Shooter fans that appreciate series. Star Wars Battlefront 2, similar thing. Any EA shooter pretty much comes out and it's shit, but then they fix it when it's too late. And then when they drop the price, we get this meteoric rise into the stratosphere, because it's monumental. No, that's what it should have done previously, which is a shame that it's only doing it now when it's £4.19 rather than when it was 40 odd quid, because then the devs would have gone, oh, this is actually real cool content, let's do more of this. But no, what they'll do is release the next game with the same strategy of releasing it with the shit stuff, and then the cool stuff will come 12 to 18 months after launch when it's 4 quid again. So yeah, big news. GG's to the team working on Battlefield. Battlefield 1 is not a bad game. Battlefield 5, not a bad game either. Both of them World War shooters, which aren't my kind of game. They are very well made, particularly if you play them with all of the latest patches and stuff. Very well made, very good games if you're into that era. Battlefield 2042 is more like my era, but shit. Let's put it that way. Anyway, you are lucky I've stopped being vegetarian, so every day is a new, beautiful, meaty day for me. Nice. Oof. Welcome back. What made you stop, Tix? Question: Why did you give up the vegetables? Some cool vegetarian options now. It used to just be, do you want a stick of celery? And some form of salt and pepper to put on it. Yeah, it was always the same seasonings and shit. It was a bit bland. But vegetarian food is a substantial for someone that's doesn't eat lots of vegetables. I'm not a fussy eater anymore. I used to be incredibly fussy. But my options as a vegetarian would have been extremely limited until about 5 years ago. So, yeah. I moved to Somerset from Nottingham, and they didn't do a great choice down here. It was easier enough. So what you're saying, down south, all a bit backwards.
Yeah. Well, they don't do gravy for a start, so obviously it's always going to be a downhill.
Yeah, I mean, that's where Tito's from, that's where Neil's from. Just scroll back up through this where Lotus is from, down south. So, yeah, just trying to see how many people I can offend in one go. But there we go. Anyway, nice. 40 years behind. Well, do you know what? Let's bring you 40 years into the future, as in to 2022, or rather 2023, as we have finished with the news now, and we have one thing to do before we all disappear for the day, and that is to draw the winner of the loot drop. From London. Yes, it's all down south, mate. It's all down south. I mean, good job. Gagad's not here. He was in a little bit earlier on, and then he disappeared again, unless he still is here, because then everyone's a sudden to Gagad. So, yeah. Yes, anyway, so we have one thing left to do, and that is to do the loot drop. Take the discussing now off. Nice. Let's go to the gameplay duos screen so we can get both mine and Bibby's faces on the camera. There's me. Where's Discord cam Bib? Can't find it. Where's Bib? Bib. Webcam Bib. Bosh, there he is. Nice. Get the chrome wheel in the background. Nice. There you go. Love to see it. So this website is, as you can see in the top corner, wheelofnames.com. It's not linked to us. It's just a website that we use that allows you to pick things at random. So we've got a wheel that has 68 entries in. As you can see, let me click my mouse. You'll be able to... Oh, no, I can't click on that bit. Can I click there? Nice. There you go. 68 entries, as you can see up here. And that's everyone on the list. We've got I can see SEM Ticks in there, Drew, Itane, and more. Do you know what? If you can see your name in the list, see where it is. Can you see exactly where your name is in the list and on the wheel? Well, it doesn't matter. Shuffle, 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 shuffle. There you go. Nice. Shuffled it a bunch.
This is bullshit. Rigged.
This is bullshit.
Congratulations, Beans.
So I've given that a bunch of shuffles. We're good to go. So this is the loot drop for November 2022. We are giving away a copy of FIFA 23 to one person. One person. It's the standard edition. We'll sort all of that with you afterwards. All you needed to do was be a sub to our channel at 3 p.m. today. It's now 16 minutes past 4. One person on this wheel will bag themselves that copy of FIFA and a crisp high five. Digitally, of course, because you're probably not going to be the same part of the country as us. But it is what it is. I'm going to click to spin. Congratulations to whoever the winner is. Commiserations to everyone that doesn't get it, but we appreciate everyone for your support. And I can now confirm that the winner is... Let's go.
Oh my God.
I thought the reason that was is because it was inching closer and closer to Neil. Neil is like, I don't know, 20%, 30% of a cell away from him.
Well done, Gagad. He has arrived. Is he a FIFA player?
I don't actually know.
Nice.
Gagad becomes... Oh no, has he won it twice before? Or did he...
I'm not sure. Gagad, he is now.
Oh, you love to see it.
Fair play. Right, so I'll get that clipped up and I'll put it into the Discord. We know you're in there, Gagad. We know you're talking there. But if you could just be very kind, nip in there and say, I'll claim this. We'll get that sorted out for you on the console of your choice.
Nice. Just the once. He won Cyberpunk. I couldn't remember if you won twice, but it was Spike that won Cyberpunk as one of them. I know it was either you or Spike. I couldn't remember which way. So that makes you, I think, only the second person ever now to have won the loot drop twice. Spike once. Spike won it once and then had a month off and then won it again or something like that, twice in 3 months. Gaga's left it like 24 months apart just to spread it out, let a few other people have an option and stuff, and then just yoinked it away from Neil, who Neil did say, where is it? Well, let me scroll back up, I've lost it. Shuffled, yet me and Gagad are still together. And then next up, Gagad takes it from Neil. No. Hashtag. Oh, no, exclamation mark, rigged even, should have said. Another soul lost to EA Sports. RIP. Nice. So yeah, Gagad, let us know what format you would prefer it on, and then we will sorting you right out, mate. Oh, yeah. But for everyone else, genuinely, we appreciate 68 different people for supporting the channel this last month. It's not the largest subscriber count on Twitch, but we don't care because that's 68 different people that have helped keep the lights and mics on, fund things like the loot drop. It does cost us money to buy a game to give away every month, to give away to you guys, obviously, but that's where the money goes. If you wonder what we do with it, there you go. Nice. So we appreciate everyone that does help support massively. Very, very much appreciated. Catch you all later. Need to prep dinner. That's it. Neil doesn't win. He gets close to it and then he just abandons us all for actual,
he's out of here.
Keeping his family fed and all that malarkey. Honestly, honestly,
keep me fed.
Yeah, yes, mate. I appreciate you dropping in, Neil. Enjoy the food. Let me know what you're getting. Pictures in the Discord. We demand it. Nice. You guys are very special. We appreciate your work. No, we appreciate you. Thanks. Arthur's crying now. No. Poot loser. He's lost his poot as well. Oh, no. Not his poot. On that bombshell, we are going to disappear. We appreciate you all sticking in, genuinely. Do join us 10 a.m.-ish tomorrow. Ish. We'll be back in the studio. And then again on Wednesday, but don't forget, if you didn't win in this, we do have another giveaway. We are basically reopening the giveaway for the Astro headset. We rolled it twice. We couldn't give it away. And rather than just going through a long-winded 48-hour reroll, we've done our due diligence. We've tried to give it away, so we're going to give it away through the PUBG stream on Wednesday evening. Drop in for that. We'll do raffles throughout the stream where it's a case of enter your name into the raffle. So basically, you'll have the entire stream pretty much to put your name in, and then we'll draw it. Probably not right at the end because we usually finish late, but we'll draw it a good way into it so that you can see. So yeah, if you didn't win today, you could still bag yourself a headset. But that's it from us. Have yourselves a beautiful day. Before that actually happens, Mr. Bibb, is there what you want to add?
Yes, there is, Graham. Thank you very much for joining us for today's episode of The Scoop. If you want to help get involved and shape the remaining 4 stories this week, there's 2 ways that you can do so. First of all, find us on social media. It is at Ice Cream Wattles across all major social media platforms, or alternatively, get involved with our Discord. The links that you require will be listed in the description of this, if you're watching this, obviously, on YouTube, or if you were listening to this on any of our podcast services, all the links that you need will be below. But all we need from you is the URL plus your thoughts and impressions. We will then give you our thoughts and impressions on the very next show, which will be at what time tomorrow, Mr. Graham Day?
That time will be at 10 a.m. Yes. Mr. Demos says, fellas, appreciate the support. Very cool. Thank you. Just catching the end. No worries, Demos. Appreciate you dropping in. Thank you very much, dude. We have just done the loot drop. Gagad has just bagged a copy of FIFA 23. And if you didn't see it, also, we are redrawing our Astro headset reopening. That's the word I was looking for. We're basically going to have a giveaway for that on Wednesday evening. So you have been in the last few Wednesdays. Make sure you're around on Wednesday evening. You can bag one of these headsets. Nice. Also, glad you put the names below the cameras. Graham, hi. How you doing? Hey, nice. That's only while we're at home. When we're in the studio, we have little nameplates that we can pop up, but there you go. Yeah. Anyway, Demos, appreciate you dropping in. Gagad, Neil, Tix, everyone else throughout the course of the stream, thank you very much. But from us, have yourselves a beautiful day. Stick around for the raid. We'll help one of our friends. And until next time, Bib, what are they going to do?
Stay frosty.